Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Victor Osimhen is waiting for Chelsea and Arsenal, according to Gianluca Di Marzio from Italy. Now he doesn't want to go to France. He doesn't want to go to PSG, and he doesn't want to go to the Saudi Arabian Pro League. He's waiting for the Premier League, and Chelsea and Arsenal are the two clubs interested in his signature, as far as Gianluca Di Marzio and Fabrizio Romano as well. Both journalists reporting from Italy. We're going to be talking about Martin Zubimendi. Real Sociedad has made it very clear it's going to be 60 million euros. It is non-negotiable. If Arsenal want to get him, if Barca want to get him, whoever wants to sign him, it is 60 million euros, and that is non-negotiable. Now, Mikel Arteta is a big fan of Martin Zubimendi. We know Bayern want him, but of course we don't know the manager who is going to be at Bayern, so probably their transfer plan could change. Could Arsenal go for a Martin Zubimendi, who's a little bit cheaper than Bruno Gyokeres? Although I think Gyokeres, with his Premier League experience, would be a massive signing for this Arsenal side. And Arsenal also asking for 39 million for the sale of Alexander Zinchenko. A bit of a surprise for me that Arsenal want 39 million. I kind of feel like it should be more. Zinchenko is the player who's coming at Arsenal last summer but one, and then that was around 35 million pounds, and ever since then I think his game has really progressed, especially this campaign. We have seen the defensive part of his game really increasing very highly, but of course they're saying it's going to be 39 million. Juventus, Bayern Munich, all interested in signing your boy from Ukraine, Alexander Zinchenko. So let me know in the comment box below what do you think about Victor Osimhen. Of course we want Victor Gyokeres, but we want Victor Osimhen as well. I think with the Victor Osimhen story, it was stronger in January, with Fabrizio saying that Chelsea and Arsenal are ones to watch when it comes to Osimhen. And then for the Victor Gyokeres story, it is stronger now, with Fabrizio saying that Arsenal have been looking at this guy for the last 3, 4, 5 months. And actually the whole of this year, Arsenal have been sending scouts to watch Victor Gyokeres. So if there is another battle, Gyokeres, Osimhen, in the comment box below, let me know what your thoughts are right there. Let's start off with a big one from Gianluca Di Marzio, who says that Victor Osimhen is not going to be joining the Saudi Pro League, and is also not going to be joining the French League One, although there is strong interest there from Paris Saint-Germain. Now, Di Marzio says in his own words, Arsenal and Chelsea are the two teams that could take Osimhen. As long as that possibility is open, he will wait. The possibility of playing in France again does not excite him, and of course he's already played in Lille, and that already doesn't give him the vibes to go back to France. Clearly, playing with PSG is something different, because you can play games like tonight's Champions League semi-final. That was a day ago, but his preference is to play in England. Victor Osimhen, very serious about going to England, very serious about waiting for that opportunity to actually come, and he will take it with both hands. So I want your thoughts there in the comment box below as an Arsenal fan. Osimhen, for me, is a quality striker. And if you remember the video we did about Gyokeres scoring 30 goals, you can go and check out that video. I think I named it, Gyokeres is a sure deal, right? Sure deal, Gyokeres to score 30 goals plus for Arsenal. I say this, that with a player like Victor Gyokeres, you know that he's developed. If he continues in his in his tracks when it comes to development, he's going to be a fantastic, fabulous player. But the thing with Osimhen, he is there. So Gyokeres is the real deal, right? Gyokeres is the real deal. One for now and one for the future. Osimhen is for now. Like, he is developed into a monster of a number 9, and you look at his numbers in that season when Napoli were winning the Italian Serie A for the first time in a very long time. I think since Maradona's time there. And you look at his numbers, and you look at his performances, and you look at what he does in the penalty area. Sensational footballer. Absolutely sensational footballer. And for me, if I was to do an I'm sorry video for a player who's not Arsenal, it would be Victor Osimhen, because I doubted him for quite some time. And I really think Arsenal need to get their hands on this one. Now, listen to me. Gyokeres, for me, should be Arsenal's real target, because cheaper, younger, and I think a deal is very much doable between Sporting Lisbon, who are clearly going to want to sell. They need the money. They will want to get the 80 million, 90 million. With Aurelio De Laurentiis, and his problem at Napoli is that he's one of the toughest negotiators in the market. And Arsenal, we know that Arsenal don't want to waste a lot of time on deals. Of course, if we believe in the deal, we will be there and we will hang in there. Right? But I don't think Arsenal want to waste a lot of time and a lot of money on a Victor Osimhen deal. I don't see that happening. Listen, I think he will go to Chelsea. Right? We've seen a few transfer hints. We have seen this and that. It is not yet clear yet, but I think Victor Osimhen might go to Chelsea. But if Arsenal have a chance to sign him, I'll take him. For me, he's a guaranteed 19 plus goals striker. And I'm just going to say 19 plus because still when you come to the Premier League from the Italian Serie A, it's a little bit difficult. You've got to adapt to life. Physically, I don't think Victor Osimhen is your physical monster. I would be lying to you if that is my mentality about him. I don't think he is. Right? But I think his finishing is sublime. I think his positioning is sublime. And one thing is better than Isak and Victor Gyokeres is in the air. You can hang it up there, and he will nod it in. So that is Victor Osimhen for you. If I was to compare him for you between him and Gyokeres, because I know many of you want that comparison. Now, apart from the air, right, both of them have got the speed. Osimhen has got the speed as well. But the thing with Victor Osimhen is that he doesn't sprint to finish. He will sprint, but he will always wait for some backup support. With Victor Gyokeres, we have seen his mindset. He is a direct footballer. He's more like a winger, actually. When you put that ball into space and you set him off with 1v1 with a defender, and they're all running towards the same ball, he will beat the defender, especially with his pace, and he is going to go as direct as powering that ball into the bottom corner or to the near post. So I think when it comes to those games where Arsenal will need, real counterattacks, that is Victor Gyokeres. But when you talk about a proven number 9, and this is Osimhen, right? That is Osimhen, a proven number 9. That is up to, Osimhen. He's been in Belgium, he's been in France, he's been in Italy, and he has performed to levels where at every single time a club has bought him for a significant amount of money. Napoli paid around $90 million to get him from, I think that was Lille. And then, right now we are talking about, of something in excess of 100 million to get him out of the Italian Serie A. So for me, Osimhen is a good player. And if we get Gyokeres, good deal. If we get Osimhen, even a better deal, because for me, I know he is a very, very clinical striker, and he has actually done it at the topmost level. Now, Arsenal are asking for £39 million for the sale of Alexander Zinchenko, a player who is believed to be on his way out of Arsenal, especially this summer where Arsenal are looking at a couple of dispensable players, and we're also trying to deal with FFP problems. So Alexander Zinchenko could be on his way out as Arsenal consider him no longer untouchable. The story really comes in from a source that I wouldn't 100% give my all, but also it comes in from a source that has reported before that Bayern Munich are really interested in Alexander Zinchenko, and that is actually true. So the story says that Arsenal are set to set a requested price for 39 million for Alexander Zinchenko, according to information from Court of Sign. As for Alexander Zinchenko, he has received interest from several clubs, including Newcastle and Bayern Munich. However, no team has shown a specific move for the player yet this summer. Zinchenko has 2 years on his contract with Arsenal, and we have not seen signs of wanting to renew his deal. In addition, Arsenal are also looking for a complement. Are also looking to complement the left back position in the summer transfer window, which makes Zinchenko's future really open. With the way Arsenal operate, Zinchenko's future will likely be determined this summer. One is an extension with Zinchenko. 2 is acceptable. Is acceptable offers if they are received and they are reasonable. So that's where we are with Alexander Zinchenko. I want your thoughts there. 39 million. Yes, I know most of you want to sell, right? And I know most of you are dancing on your chairs as you watch this video. But the question with Alexander Zinchenko is 39 million, guys. 39 million. I thought we could do better than that. I know we have a problem when it comes to valuing players and selling players, but I thought that is a problem that Arsenal are slowly and gradually overcoming, right? I mean, right from the Joey Look days, that was impressive. I expect to see the same with Rhys Nelson, Edin Ketia, Alexander Zinchenko. All these players, for me, at the moment, there is no Arsenal player that should be leaving, that is part of this squad this season, that should be leaving for less than 40 million pounds. I don't think. I look at Zinchenko, that should be for more than 40, something 45 or even 47 million pounds. I'm looking at Edin Ketia, 40 to 45. Emil Smith Rowe, if he's going to leave, lots of money. Fabio Vieira, I would keep because his valuation has dropped a little bit. But Alexander Zinchenko, I'm not really convinced about the 39 million. Now Newcastle are interested, and that could be something very interesting. Arsenal could do. I'm not suggesting a swap deal. What I'm trying to say is that Arsenal could actually have a good relationship with Newcastle this summer. Imagine if we want Isak, we want Gyokeres, and they want Alexander Zinchenko and Emil Smith Rowe. Actually, I would use Emil Smith Rowe as a deal to get Alexander Isak. Personally, I would do that. I would give them Emil Smith Rowe, get Alexander Isak, and then we can negotiate who adds money where and why. And I think because they know that Alexander Isak is going to be such a very difficult player to keep, if they get a player like ESR, a player that they believe in, a player that Eddie Howe loves as a player, and of course a player that for me can work in under any manager, even if Eddie Howe leaves, probably in the summer, probably next year, I think he's a very good project, Emil Smith Rowe, and I would love to keep him at Arsenal. But Zinchenko to Newcastle, it's a risky one. I would rather him go to Bayern. I would rather him go to Barcelona. I would rather him go out of the Premier League. I love him as a player. I still believe in him, although most of you actually do not. But I really, really still believe in him. Now, a Saudi Pro League club called Al-Qadisiyah, or Al-Qadisiyah actually. Al-Qadisiyah has come in with an offer for Gabriel Jesus. Now, the player is not keen on joining the Saudi Pro League, but the players' entourage have not received any, formal response. Any formal response from Arsenal telling them that we are going to be selling Gabriel Jesus. However, Arsenal will not stand in his way, according to what I'm hearing. We will not stand in the way of Gabriel Jesus if he wants to go. Now, I'm also hearing that he's not really a big fan of the Saudi Pro League and he would love to stay in Europe as well. But Arsenal are not actively looking to sell Gabriel Jesus. It is not on our transfer radar. It is not on our to-do activity list. Now, Saudi Arabia are not going to get Gabriel Jesus. They have offered us about 90 million for Gabriel Jesus and Thomas Partey. That is beautiful money. But they're not going to get Gabriel Jesus. I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry to be the one that breaks it to them. They're not going to get Gabriel Jesus. I wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't consider it that they get Gabriel Jesus. It's not happening. It's not happening at any point in time, really. So I would say if Jesus is going to leave Arsenal, he's going to go to a European club. And I can see Bayern, I can see Juventus, I can see Barcelona. If they lose Vitor Roque, they can move in for a Gabriel Jesus, right? So I see him stay in Europe. I see him stay in and around Europe. I don't see him go to Al-Qadisiyah. Yes, there is money there, and that could attract a Brazilian, but that is on a smaller margin. But the only way I'm thinking that Gabriel Jesus could actually move to Saudi Arabia is if his injury problems persist beyond this coming season, and then he says, listen, I've got to make a living, my legs are failing, how about I move to Saudi Arabia, make some quick cash, 1 or 2 years with my failing legs, and then probably call it quits when it comes to football. And we have seen Brazilians leave football a little bit early. I don't think his injury problems are going to persist, and I pray that they don't, because I want to see a quality season from Gabriel Jesus, one where he's injury free, one where he's able to play with a smile, and one where he is okay to play in in a marathon of games and a marathon of positions as wanted and wished by Mikel Arteta. So I don't see him go to Saudi Arabia. Real Sociedad are saying that Martin Zubimendi is not untouchable, but the 60 million valuation is untouchable. And Arsenal are saying, we are there. We are priorities. We will wait and we will see what to do with that in the summer. So, what do you think about the Zubimendi one? Do we go for Martin Zubimendi or do we go for Bruno Guimaraes? Financially, because we might have around 200 million and I want us to bring in a winger and a forward, I would rather go for Zubimendi. It's cheaper. And I think that 60 million euro valuation, if you convert it to pounds, that's around 50 million euros. But then it will go down. I expect him to move for around 35 to 40 million euros this summer. He loves Real Sociedad. He's not going to be pressured into moving, and therefore La Real are not going to be pressured into selling as well. But I still think that in the end, we could actually get a Zubimendi, a Victor Gyokeres, a defender, and a winger. That is what I'm thinking. I'm going to wait to see what happens, but that is my prediction. Speak to you right, in the next one at exactly 9 p.m. We'll be live. We'll be talking all things Arsenal, all things Manchester United, all things Gyokeres. See you then.